Well, welcome back tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. It's been a week since we released the last video on the channel. We've taken some time off with the family. It's the holiday season here in Holland. We went to the sea, to Zealand. Beach, beers, sun, waves, water, what's not to like over there if you can spend some time with your loved ones and your relatives. I hope you've all had some good vacations as well. Trying to keep the mindset a bit different, getting it away from the really obligatory tanking, the tanking that has to be done. So you can take out your tanks again, get them driving like you want to, and just having a bit of fun in the game. This is the second one of Medium's Driving Guide. The first one was called Medium Tanks for Dummies, Driving Mediums for Dummies. This is the somewhat advanced course, and I'm calling it the somewhat advanced course because there are a few things in here that are a bit more advanced than the earlier video. We are going to recap on what we said in the first one over here. But today I'd like to talk about taking positions, being part of the team, rethinking your strategies, and as with the last video, bringing it all together again. This is a bit of subscriber video as well. I'm in a Cromwell B platoon, as you can see, together with the Orange Swift. In our SP1C, that's another platoon. There were two platoons on both sides of the teams, on red as well as on greens. There is Nilo Shark, he's a subscriber too. Good fun to have people in the game who subscribe to the channel. And here we are going to take out the Comet, and this is about taking shots when available. You can see here what we've discussed in the earlier video. All the bits, eyes and ears, key positions, shoot and scoot, take shots when available, don't rush and think first. And it's good to just slightly recap what has been said before in the game, in other videos, because all those points are still applicable to this game. You can see here we are trying to minimize the risks of getting shot while we are trying to take shots on the enemy. And again, I am moving towards a flank. I could see the T-43 moving over there. I was thinking about going into the town and then charging into the 88. But that would have put myself into a position between an 88 and an IS on the right side and a T-43 and Cheeto in platoon on the left side. And that's not something I want to be in that position. So we are moving up to a flank again because this IS is isolated. We can attack him from the back. He's got bad gun depression, at least far worse than I have. And especially over the back with that big gun of him. He's going to have trouble hitting us. And apart from that first hit in the game, I think it was from the Hellcat, we've taken no damage whatsoever furthermore in the game. And that's a good thing. If you can keep safe and not get shot while you are doing your utmost best to get shots into the reds, that's very good thinking, very good gameplay. And it might be called camping, and it might be called cowardly play. But you can see it over here as well. We are taking out the Cheeto, we've taken out the T-43, that's prioritizing targets. And the T-43 was the one I wanted to take out. Here we are on dead rail. I'm in the FCM, as you can see, nearly full health, and I want to take out this red FCM. We track him and he gets shot. Thank you very much. Up next, the SU-100. I'm ignoring the shots that are coming from my right. The SU bumps into me. He wants to, I don't know, ram kill me. Bad idea because the FCM is a fairly heavy tank. And suddenly it's 5-on-2. And again, there are two tanks with bad gun depression. I catch one slightly on the tracks over here. 588 health left, and as I made the charge forward, I was thinking, what am I doing? Is this a good idea or not? But having committed to it, I decided to go onwards and upwards anyway. And being over here also forces the T-44 and the red IS to poke out, to take some risks. And if they would move towards the left or the right of that big building, there would be no way for them to go there unspotted. IS-6 was tunneling pretty hard. He bumped into me, and that made it easier for the T-44 to shoot me. And as you can see, T-44 is moving around. I'm going into a hold down position. I can shoot him through the front plate, he realizes that and he backs off. Has a bit of problems with the gun depression and getting a shot off because he can only see my tracks. And that's good thinking about taking position. Again, the FCM, this time we're on canal. We had been on that hill behind us before, overlooking the canal and the bridge. And having pushed back on a Centurion a bit, you can see we are moving one ridge further. Nothing more, trying to keep an eye on what's happening to the right because I know there's a T-26E4, but we are nicely hull down. The FCM is a good hull down tank, as is the Centurion, but we are only giving him the size of a turret, maybe some tracks. We can put shots into him on and on and on and on, as you can see. Wiggle around a bit, trying to get another bounce. One shot through the front plate, he shoots our tracks. And this is actually good thinking. Again, it's focusing on the process of taking the tank out. That is the biggest threat to you, that poses the most danger. Switching to APCR to shoot the T-26E4 wasn't really necessary, but we get the kill anyway. And that means we are on to the next thing again, rethinking the plan. It can be very tempting to be in a medium, drive to a spot, do the usual thing, just keep doing what you've done before because you are in a medium and it has worked before in other games or in the game before or whatever. But you can see I am shooting this KV-1. I'm well aware of the T-43 over there. I'm keeping an eye on the radar and I can see he's moving in. And instead of going into a dogfight or a firefight with him, trying to shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot until one of us is dead, I'm moving back. I know the T-34 has the shotgun mounted, or the low caliber, the 57mm. Here you can see it. And as said in the review, we have about the same DPM. He has 2100, I have 2100, so we're moving back. He's coming to chase us, we track him into place and we bleed him dry. And it's very tempting to be on a hill when you have shots available in your medium tank and just keep shooting them and shooting them and shooting them until they are dead. But if there are people who are able to put shots into you, you are in dire trouble. I was ignoring that AT2 over there. He is well armored from the front and I would have to aim very carefully. I can drive in now, go for a CUD probably, but as I noticed this Hetzer over here, I'm rethinking the plan, moving past the AT2, straight into the Hetzer. APCR needed probably for the front plate, but I'm on his back now, back to AP, shots into him and we're on the back of the AT2. Had I gone for the AT2 at first, that would have been a very dumb move really, because that would have exposed me to fire from that Hetzer, and that AT2 really had no choice. There was no way he could turn around to face me, because if he would have done that, he would have been subject to fire from the back from our team. And well, it gave me 3 shots on a Hetzer, let me kill the Hetzer, and after that we killed the AT2. That's one more thing you can do in a medium. You have to be part of a team. Of course you're part of a team of 7 tanks, but just being in a team isn't the same as being part of a team. You can see I'm moving up slowly over here. 2 tanks were spotted, the Cent and the Object 140. The big one over there, the Death Star, that's the one I wanted to know where he was. And we're doing pretty much the same thing as we did with the FCM video, moving up to another strong position where we have cover to our left, cover to our right. We are respotting that FV. That's what I'm going for. Just poking out enough, respotting him. One shot dunks into the ground, or bounces. We are switching to heat because we can't pen his front plate and I really want to get some shots in. He fires and misses. One shot into him. Can we put another in? I'm telling everybody I'm attacking him. We can't put one in, but we are not going to chase him. We're going for the tortoise. Cupola, fairly easy shots. We are on an incline, only putting the front of a tank out, the gun out. Shots into the tortoise. There we go. Wait a bit, see what happens. Can we put one more in? That one misses, but hey ho, there's a Cent 7-1 available. So we're not poking out for the tortoise, we are switching our plans, we are part of the team, and that Centurion gets done and dusted by our 268. Object 140, one shot into him. Moving again to another ridge, and we can shoot the tortoise. No, we can't. There's an object 704 from the green team in our way. Get out! Go away, 704! Go away! He doesn't go away, but we can shoot the tortoise. No, we can't. And now we finally can shoot the tortoise through the cupola. And that's really game, set, and match. One shot into the object 140. We're gonna track him into place over here. Just leave him over there. Moving forward, he wants to get behind us, backing up again, closing that door, and that's the game. 7-0. Indeed, fairly easy game. And this whole thing being part of a team, it really requires you to keep a lookout on what's happening on the battlefield. You have to be aware of what is going on. We have put one shot into the leopard, we can't put another shot in, but we aren't pushing for him because there are a few red tanks there. There's a Chiri, leopard is moving in still. We are moving, so we have cover to our right, the big rocks. We bounce a shot on the Chiri, on the only part of armor that's gonna bounce shots. But hey ho, almost and upwards. We are moving down. That was a bit of a newbie mistake, maybe. And when I realized I was moving into a dive position, I decided to keep targets lit up for the SU-152. We are going for the leopard, not because he is the biggest target on the field, but it's one gun taken out, and one gun taken out of the game is good. Panther is moving in. So we are off again, keeping an eye out. Cheeto is gone thanks to the SU-152, and we are moving in on the Panther. And that's about it. Being part of the team, there's a leopard as well, trying to put shots into the Panther. We can put one more into him. His gun moves towards us, we move back. He fires and misses the shot. And our Cheeto kills the Panther. And that leaves just the E25 over there available as a target. There is one more tank at the waterfall. And again, this was a fairly simple game. Helped a lot, of course, by an SU blowing up two other tanks quite easily and quite early on in the game. But like I said, being part of the team, it requires a bit more than just being in a team, sitting there and trying to shoot enemies. We're bringing it all together like we did with the T62 game on the first mediums guide video. Today we are in the Leopard PTA, a full game. You've seen the lineups. We are slightly low on medium tanks. We have a bit more in terms of heavies. Normally I would want to go into the desert, but taking a look behind me, T62 is looking around, not moving. T54 seems to be AFK. The red team has more mediums. Our green heavies are moving into the town. So we are rethinking the usual plan. And normally I wouldn't want to be with a PTA in town on that sense, but if the main force is in the town, well, that's one thing you can do. We are flanking wide, as you can see. We don't want to get spotted first, but there's one red spotted now in the desert. And indeed our T54 is AFK. That is gonna be two red spotted in a second. T30 is over there, there's an E75 over there. And it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 red spotted, and that means there's 3 tanks over here. We have 6 versus 3 in the town, and we have to push hard over here. One shot into that E75, we just don't get the kill. There's an M103, that means that T30 over here is alone as well. And as long as we can stay behind him and move around quick over here, we can't get shot by the M103. We can put shots into the back of the T30. Trying to see if HE through the back works, and it does, and that's 2 on 1. We still haven't lost a single hit point. There's an M103 over here trying to get one shot into the FE because it's available. From that red triangle I can see that M103 is spotted again. He's fairly low health and he's facing the other way. So here we go again into the M103, one shot in, moving to the right to get behind him and to get cover from the houses to my right. HE would have gone through the rear plate, but it would have required a 90-degree angle, and it doesn't. T62, useless shit team. Well, you decided to trade hit points with 4 red mediums, and that was a bad idea. But if you've taken a look around now, we have an STI, fairly nearly full health. We have a Leopard PTA, nearly full health. Our team is nearly full health. And they have a Leopard PTA over there, which is on 200 odd hit points now. There's an E50 on 200 hit points. We can shoot the PTA, and that IS is moving in. So we decided to make an ad hoc Wolfpack really. And that E50 is the one to take out now, because he's the lowest on hit points. We swap to heat, just to be sure to make the shot. Wasn't really necessary, but we do get the kill, and there's an FV available. And this was, well, pretty much a simple game. Reds did very well in pushing hard through the desert area, but we were just a bit smarter. IS doing an excellent job bumping into that FV, causing him to miss a shot. I wanted to ram his tracks, but I missed him as well. This one goes in, or bounces, but he's on 104 now. And there's no way that FV, even with the hash rounds he's got available that can do big damage against me, there's no way he will be able to out DPM us 2 tanks to 1. So that is also one thing being part of the team. Really, you don't want to be the tank that's shooting one enemy, and even more so not 2 enemies. Try to stay together slightly, shoot the same targets, and if you drive a medium like that, it's definitely going to add up to your statistics and to your win rate. That's it all for now. Have a good weekend. See you all on the battlefield. Cheers and happy tanking.